Hello, ladies and gentlemen. On this May 4th, 2026 primary election, the final countdown. I don't know if any of you are excited, but I'm kind of excited because I feel like we've already won. We've already won, no matter what happens, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and play this other clip I just caught real quick while I'm pulling something else up. This one's from Lisa at the actual courthouse. Let's see what she's got to say.
Hey Facebook. Hey, I'm here at the Madison County courthouse, and I just kind of want to show you what is happening here. These are sitting out where everyone can have access to anything. This is just outside of the voting center.
Her camera went down. Oh, I bet she doesn't know it went down. Hold on, let's see. Come here, Lisa. Where are you at? I'm telling you what, we've had so many tech issues. What's this one? Is this from today?
Hey Facebook, this is Lisa. Of course, I am here at Madison County Circuit Court 3.
Nope, that's not it. That was from the James Peters case where he sued Alexandria Town because they wouldn't release information. Let's see.
Hey Facebook.
No,
hey.
she's not back. That's the one she just did. So I want to get me hyped up a little bit. I'm going to play this. And I know that I get copyright strikes, but you know the beauty of doing podcasts, okay, is that I can literally just cut it off my video and then put the good stuff online. Catherine won't be with me on this live. Okay, nope, nobody will actually, but I do see David Coakley. Hello, thank you for tuning in. We're getting ready to do a couple things for the final countdown show. I'll probably be going live as I go out this afternoon to put some of the yard signs up. It's been hectic, crazy campaign season. I've learned so much in the process. I'm pretty sure the girls, if they could get on with me this morning, would say the same thing. That little video I just played with Lisa's. For me, each one of these election cycles has really struck me hard because just like with the 2024 election, it doesn't feel like it's logistically sound. If I was a bad guy, I saw all the weak points that could be breached if someone wasn't paying attention, especially at the courthouse. And then if you're just tuning in, again, let's see, tech issues, Gaskell teaming up with Prescott, infamous See, I don't know about that one, David. You'll have to send me the link because we got hit last week by Todd Baldridge. I don't know if any of you viewers saw any of the stuff he was doing. It backfired horribly on Baldridge in one of our groups because everybody was like, you're knocking hardworking nurses, and they went off. And then he tried to take a clip of me out of context and say that I was desecrating the American flags. So I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit, but we're going to kind of do a deep dive into Gaskell's finances because that's crazy. Okay, subscribing to someone only takes a click and you really never have to go back, but that click counts. Oh, I don't have one subscriber that I don't sub to. Okay, thank you, 420. I'm going to show this real quick. Give that one up there. He's one of my regulars on the Heads Up channel that I originally created. This guy, David Coakley. Here's his ticket sheet. This is what I was responding to a minute ago, teaming up with the Prescott's infamous internet. So now this is going to be interesting because I have not heard about the Gaskells teaming up with the Prescott's. But what we have discovered in the last week since we've been attacked is that Mike Gaskell and his crew, however pleasantly polite they are in public, and, you know, they may be able to sit well and, you know, behave in a political circles, they also know how to bring in the dollars. And I feel like on one hand, we're being sold down the river. I've never seen so many outside influences paying into Madison County politics before, but that's where we're at. And I'm going to play this little clip real quick because it gets me excited, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was the final countdown song. I just wanted to have it play for a second. Remind me what we're getting into today in the next 24 hours. Cheers, Karen. Cheers. Cheers. Okay, so let's see, where did I want to go? Okay, so basically we wanted to take a look at financials. So let's see what we can see. Financials. I don't know how many of you, and I'm not going to be able to talk for a minute to the people on the side, or like, because I think there's several people on different platforms. Some are on Heads Up, some are on one of the YouTube channels. I can see the YouTube channels are popping up. David's over on our Facebook group. So it's kind of hard when there's only one of me running all the buttons and soundboard and trying to clip everything together to bring you guys a good episode or a good podcast. So in this one, something I learned, make class proceed. So yes, let's proceed. So I personally did not know that anything above county, and this is what I hate about thinking that, you know, right when you think that you know everything that you think you know, oftentimes I learn that I didn't know diddly squat. And then I have to start back over. So 2026 is one of those years in election cycles where I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I don't claim to be the know-it-all that, knows everything. In fact, that's why I teamed up with Catherine Callahan, because she seems to be a know-it-all. She knows a lot of stuff. And so she teaches me daily. Pretty much daily. I learned something new. People were just starting to show up to the polls. I learned that right before we came on. Somebody gave me a call. That's why it took me so long when the intro part. Actually, it was Catherine calling me because people were calling her saying, hey, we're showing up to the polls and they're getting ready to close. Well, and the other phone call we're getting is that they go to look for the polling information and they can't find it. One young woman, said that she showed up she tried to get information for the polling, where could she go to vote? She couldn't find any information. She finally got to the Madison County website and the links weren't working, and she called up to the election room. And of course, this is hearsay and I'm paraphrasing, but supposedly she said in her post that she didn't feel like they were very concerned about the website not working. And I'll tell you, I have been bringing up the website concerns. And actually, let's just venture on over there. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to put you on a different screen here in a minute. I don't want you to see this one. Okay, hold on. Share this one. So let's see what we can find. If I wanted to go vote today in Madison County, how do I find the polls? That was a good one. I had that one too. Right, I tried to get on here earlier and I kept getting phone calls from some of my younger homies in Madison County they also teach me stuff. Like Bree Davis, she is one of the most highly intelligent young women that I have had the pleasure to work with. And I enjoy just the stuff that she teaches me too. Because she goes and gets into these things, gets into the rabbit hole, and then she'll bring me the stuff back and have me chew on it too and get my take. And she's taught me so much about like the national priority Superfund sites. It's unbelievable. Okay, back to here. Madison County, IN Government Election Office. Let's see. Okay. She is cutie patootie. Linda Smith is, and she does seem very precious, even though, and I'll say this, me and the Madison County Election Board, oh, what happened? Something happened. Dude, okay. I just got bumped out of my own podcast because of human error. Thankfully, it didn't shut off on me. I tell you what, that's another thing. Like, just be careful where you're clicking when you're doing computer stuff, because you never know when you're going to click the wrong button and kick your own self out of your podcast. Okay, let's get back to the YouTube podcast is what we're doing. Let's go. Share the screen. I got so many tabs open because there's so much stuff to tell you guys. No. I'm going to share tab and then go find the other tab that I actually need. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's get this up. So here is the election board or the election office page. Now, I've been complaining about the website for quite some time. Anybody that knows, I have a lot of really good reels. I've picked through the election website more than anybody, and they probably had like on the job training and troubleshooting with me because I'm a website designer. I have a degree in electronic engineering technology, and I personally can't stand how this website works. These clips right here, these links work, okay, but see, there should be somewhere for complaint department because the HAVA, Help America Act, or Help America Vote Act, funds have went into the Madison County elections and Indiana elections, and we should have a complaint department. And they do the best job that they can, but if you don't have something to follow it through, how do we know what, how do we know how to file a complaint and what happened with the complaints? I would like to see the outcome, and they don't really necessarily send you what they decide. Sometimes you'll find it 2 years later, like what happened with me. Okay, so, well, this is polling locations. Let's see, maybe it's going to work for me, but see, I play on here a lot. Okay, let's see this one. Oh, I don't know what she was talking about then because that one worked. Oh, there you go. There's the other one. So here, anybody tuning in, it's not even showing you the page. Oh, my sign guy's calling. Can't even see that. Let me see. Okay, the polls are closing, or they should have closed in like a minute. If you're in line, they're probably not going to kick anybody out. Okay, I don't think they're going to kick anybody out if you're in line. Tomorrow, it says primary election day vote center locations will be open on primary election day, May 5th, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. All locations comply with ADA standards as required by Indiana Code 3-11-18-1.4. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I like this. After this is over, I just want you to know I am going to push for sign rules in Madison County, and that they put in their contracts with each one of these places that there's something about the signs put into the contracts, because after having $1,000 worth of signs damaged from a polling location last week, regardless of why, it was very hurtful. It was very traumatic for me to be out there and know that people are so mean. Yeah, the government website, they never work. Okay, so back to the website. Even though these links are working, they told me at one of the meetings that they don't have a website designer at the moment. And I thought this stuff was going through like the Madison County Tech department, IT department, which I don't understand why it's not, and why they have to get their own IT department. But yes, their website doesn't work properly half the time. And I'm going to go through the polling locations and then go back to, they don't have a proper complaint process. So tomorrow, they're going to, the Emory Lee building, if you're in Alexandria. Okay, so there's one polling location. You'll know the polling location because there will be signs that tell you enter here. As far as attire, don't wear anything to do for your candidate. If you're going to wear a t-shirt all day to help market your candidates, you have to have it covered when you walk into these places. Some polling places may not know the rules, but make sure that you do, because we just had a really, it can go for a bad experience really, really quick. If you don't know your rights or your rules when you walk into these places. So here we go. So one, Alexandria Anderson has 15 places. Okay. 15 places tomorrow you can go and vote. And I suggest, because a lot of these other ones get a lot of people coming in, go to the places like Zion Baptist Church, because it helps keep the doors open. It helps, like when the county election board goes to make decisions on who's going to be able to participate and who's not. These smaller places, make sure you go to them, because if not, they could get bumped off the board, and then you got to go on a rabbit hole adventure trying to find a location to vote. Okay. Chesterfield has one, Chesterfield Mill Creek Center. There should also be a vote center sign or polling location sign out front. We're going to go today and take our signs. We are not going to do what we did through the satellite voting though, because we need more signs to go to all these locations. So our signs will be spread throughout Madison County and Hamilton County, because Catherine is running. Her district does cover the Hamilton County area, and their polling locations were beautiful, and everybody was polite. They have a sign rule that each candidate can put 2 signs, and I think that's a decent little rule. So I'm going to try to abide by that somewhat. For here on out. But, whatever. It is what it is. So, Elwood, Main Street, Wesleyan Church, and the City Hall. The City Hall shoot is interesting. The Elwood City Hall shoot is interesting because it goes inside. So, you can literally stand outside of the City Hall and, for your candidate. And if you go to any of these locations and you want to, sit outside for a little bit and just tell people, vote for your candidate, don't say your candidate. I had somebody make us a shirt one time, and I sent them a draft, and on the picture it said your candidate's name. And so I told him what the name was, but then on the shirts, he didn't fix that part. So when we got our shirts back, it said, vote for your candidate. And it was supposed to say Callahan. That was my first campaign. I'll tell you what, she was so mad at me. I don't blame her either. I do not blame her for being mad about that. And it was kind of funny because at the end, we laughed about it. And we still have the shirts. But Frankton Christian Church. So one place in Frankton, one place in Ingalls. Ingalls Town Hall. Lapel's Line Club. Markleville Community Park Building. I like that one. It was pretty cool. They had the 38 sale was over the weekend, so there's a lot of people out there. Arestas Town Hall. We'll be up north tonight if anybody wants to get a hold of us to come by and hang out for a few minutes when we're in these areas. We'll have several different crews out putting signs, but I will definitely be in my district all day and tomorrow. If anybody wants to come talk to me and talk about my platform and what I plan on doing. And pretty much I plan on doing what I've been doing. And just exposing all the issues and fixing them. So I don't want to focus on all the problems all the time. I want to bring solutions to the table. So let's go back over here. And I would like to see some type of board put together that can redress our government. Reading means reading. Yes. 6 Puppies Zion will welcome you with great experience. Okay. And then this one over here. It's Karen. So let's go back to this website. So what I wanted to show you is there should be some place. If you want to complain, let's see if that's okay. That's what it was. That's what it was. For whatever reason, whenever she tried to use that link, oh, but that's because I'm on this page. Okay. That makes sense there. Let's go here. So remember, I'm testing this real quick live because we've already had complaints about that. Well, no, because here's the link. So maybe she couldn't, maybe whatever, her phone wouldn't pick it up. So maybe we'll do a comment box, right, where we tell them what we want to see in the future, and we need JPEG images because not everybody's phone is picking up the PDFs. I think that's one of the problems. She might not be able to download the PDF. So Linda Smith, I love both ladies. Well, Linda Smith and me have history, but she's grew on me in the last couple months. So, she's been very sweet to me, believe it or not, even though some of the fits I've thrown and some of the fussing that we've gotten into, she has been very kind to me this season. Lisa's my buddy too. I love Lisa on a different level, and may the best woman win. Then Michelle Daniels, me and Michelle Daniels, which if you haven't seen my reels, we're going to come back on Thursday night and show all the blooper reels or the best parts of what we've experienced, win or lose. I'll be back on Thursday for sure. Michelle Daniels refused to give me the rules and allowed my opponent to yell at me that I was violating the law because I caught him electioneering, which is perfect. I'm just here in a minute. I'm going to show you that clip because I think that's important, and then I'll go into the financing. Okay, I'm going to get it pulled up real quick, so then it's just the next thing that we go into. Okay, so Michelle Daniels refused to give me the rules. She's the president of the election board. She wouldn't even come over to me and tell me to move my signs. We have 2 missing signs. So Aaron did not understand my question when I was asking him on yesterday. No, it would have been Saturday when we were picking up the signs. He didn't understand my question. So he gave me an answer and said that he pulled 2 signs, but at the end of the day, when we started talking about it again, we determined he misunderstood what I said. And so we have 2 missing signs from Crossroads Methodist Church if they would like to return them. But yeah, and I think it's the 2 that were down by the road. If the State Department took them, then we will be letting you know on Thursday what the total damage to all of our signs from Crossroads is and go from there. But Michelle Daniels, I'm not impressed with her at all. The Republican Party in Madison County should be appalled by this woman's behavior. Here in this clip I'm going to play, it's a 6-minute clip, 7-minute clip, and I'm going to let it play through, and I'm just going to let it play. I'm not going to try hard not to interrupt it. It is one of ours, but she clearly let an electioneer on 425. So she needs to go. She's worse than Russ, because at least Russ kind of had some type of balance to him, even if it was corrupt. She's just inept. And I say that Linda's inept a lot because I'm still mad about a lot of my election complaints not being heard, but that's another story for another day. Tim Lannon, he's grown on me too. I mean, like when he came and told me to move my signs from where they were at, they were inside the chute. And then our defense on that is we had volunteers delivering our signs. And since the chutes were not clearly marked, even though Catherine knew where it was possible, Kathleen and Russ had the big thing in 2024. I just got a text message. That's funny. Anyway, there was somebody on the thread texted me instead of saying it on the thread because they didn't want anybody to know that they didn't like her either. So back to Tim Lannon's grown on me. Democrat, former senator, actually for Senate District 25 that Catherine and Mike Gaskell are fighting over. But when he came and told me to remove my signs in the poll worker, they were very polite. Now, they thought I was going to go off. I did not go off. But we had a great conversation. I talked to him on the phone. We had a great conversation on the phone. Contact Madison County Election Board. So anyway, Tim Lannon, I like him. He was a good mediator. And in that defense, when the electioneering, like as soon as they knew they knew that Tim was coming, it seemed like Mikeal and several of them got out of the way, which I don't know who knew what at that point. Okay, but I did notice Mikeal got out of the chute when Tim was there and went right back to it. That's why we have pictures of him and Christy Grabowski in the chute. And then I want to show you here. Okay, here it is. This is what I want to show. Okay, so there, the election complaint form. This has been under construction this whole entire year. If you go to any of my, you can pick through my reels section. I'm going to come over here real quick and show you. If you go through my reels, since my reels aren't live, this one's going to go off. Several of these might go off because I was live, but hopefully I'll get them uploaded to the YouTube channel soon. But there's a lot of good videos in here. And before I ran for office, I was filing complaints galore, and I couldn't get them to answer. So I have a couple funny ones in here because when they did have the live site up for complaints, I did a smiley face on my complaint for my signature. Maybe it's this one. Nope. See, I'm gonna have to go over the election complaints to the 5th district. I filed complaints and they have not answered me. I filed one against Pete and Kelly Hewer for donating to an organization that paid out to Democrats. So if I can't do, I don't even know what, if I can't share something on Facebook because it came from a Democrat, then she shouldn't be able to use money to go to their campaigns. And I do think that's the law that they broke. And so I filed the complaint. Back to these. So if you get down into some of the older ones back from last year, there's some funny ones. I have been tracking the wastewater treatment plants, so to make sure that they get the water clean. Okay, here it is. This one right here is funny. I ain't raised to talk on my ass. I ain't raised to chase what don't last. I ain't raised to run from the clash. I'm 10 toes down when the line gets trashed. I ain't raised to wear no mask. I ain't raised to move too fast. I ain't raised to skip no class. I'm old school, real, not built for sad. Okay. That's a good song. I don't want to get copyright infringement. So go to my reels, find it. I did sign here, and then I don't know why they had 2 signature boxes, but that's why I put the funny face. And then after I did the funny face, they took the complaint section off their website, sadly. So now it just says this election complaint under construction. And if you listen to me in those board meetings, I told them that's not cool. We should have a functioning, actually, the Help America Vote Act says that they should have a proper functioning complaint process. So they do have the election form on here. Okay, there is a blank form if you want to file. And it didn't even pop up. Let me get it to pop up. There is an election complaint form on there. I got 3 that I'm going to be filing today. One about the damage to my signs. One about David Albee, one about Todd Baldridge and no disclaimers, and one against Mikeal Vaughn for electioneering. And that will be, I'll post that in the next couple days. So I'm going to play this one for you guys in case you haven't seen it. I'm going to try not to interrupt. And then after this is over, we're going to go into Mike Gaskell's finances, because I want to talk about Mike Gaskell and how all these thousands of dollars are being, let's see. Oh, here's Timothy Ray. Yeah. Timothy Ray, somebody I've never met. Look at this, guys. So somebody that we have never met. Simple laws like keeping insurance. See, but he was going through a hard time and he fixed it. Okay. Timothy Ray is a fake profile that has been stalking and harassing me and Catherine for several weeks now. Yeah, he did do it. We've been honest about it, Timothy Ray. Catherine knows about these things, and we fixed the problems. So that's all I got to say about that. You can stay on the thread if you want. But Timothy Ray, actually wants voter fraud Vaughn in. So this is the kind of crap we've had to put up with. Timothy Ray is connected to possibly John Dyer, maybe even John Dyer using a fake program or a fake profile, just like he did in the 2024 election where he called himself something Slurpee. So whatever. Here's this.
So, Mikeal, you just bring up those pictures with everybody there, and we'll show. I mean, you're saying that there's nothing I can do and that it's not a violation.
The point is, you and I don't care, but I'm just saying, be fair.
I'm very fair.
You say I just worked corners on you. That's a lie. My voter record is right there.
Yes, let's pull it out, because when we needed money, you didn't have it.
I did.
No, you said no.
I voted.
Absolutely, you said no.
Voting record.
Go get it. You said no.
I have it.
Okay,
I've
we'll
got
pull
the
it out.
agenda.
Pull it
The
out.
only thing I didn't vote.
You did.
Fred got up and left.
That
This
wasn't
is
just that
November.
one.
You asked for 40-something thousand. Fred got up and left. I didn't do nothing. I didn't make a motion.
No, it was the one before that.
Hold on. I made a motion. I didn't make a motion because Fred left. I would have got a second. That's right there, Concord.
No, this is one that you actually voted. This is one that you actually voted on. And here's the thing: at the end of the day, I was absolutely correct, because that coroner's office now gets $600,000 for their annual thing. But at the end of the day,
control. They had the 4 votes. I fought them.
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I'm on record.
But at the end of the day, that's not the subject. The subject right here is that's a violation. It's not my opinion. It's Indiana code.
You had three board members here.
I had 3 board members here.
Why didn't they mark it off?
Why didn't they mark it? Listen, I have no idea, Mikeal. But again, that doesn't matter if the board members. You, as a candidate, has to know the rules.
I'm saying they should mark it off.
You have to know the rules as a candidate. And you know that. They're not going to say, oh, well, you didn't know the rules. Now, you said to me, Catherine, there's nothing you can do. You can't do anything about it.
You can't. I mean, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Talk to voters and win. That's not going to do anything.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying.
No. The rules need to apply to everybody. We've made it a total lie. You're in violation of electioneering. That's a misdemeanor. One thing.
One thing,
and it's okay. It's okay to violate one thing. It's not okay to violate anything.
It's okay to spread false rumors and make false accusations.
Please show me.
We see it. Yeah, that's all you do is post.
Please show me. Please show me.
Post on Facebook constantly.
Because my life doesn't live. At the end of the day, you're in violation.
Okay. And you must have been in some type of violation. I don't know what's a violation. I can't take your word for it. You are not official.
Okay, you can't read Indiana code?
You are not official.
I'm not an official. You're right. So you need an official to tell you you're in violation?
I'm not official.
You're not an official. You're right. But you have to know what Indiana code is. As a candidate, you have to know the rules.
I've not personally done it. And I don't know.
Okay, but that is your job as a candidate.
You're the only one griping about it.
No, I'm not the only one dropping by it. No, in 24, it was a violation. So Indiana code is still Indiana code.
You're right. Russ came after you.
Russ came after me?
Yeah, that's why he came out and measured. We were out there all day. You came out here, and he measured it, and me and Christy were right over here on 24.
Yeah. And so you watched him say I was in violation, so you know where the line is, and then you went ahead and violated in 26.
I don't.
No, you just said you watched him measure it in 24.
I can't remember he measured out to.
Yeah, and now you're saying, well, you didn't measure it. Well, you were here, you watched the whole thing.
I didn't, but Russ did. I wasn't up there with Russ. I seen him say right here or something. Did he mark it or something?
It hit all the way out here.
I don't remember.
It wasn't close where you could say, oh, well, is this in the range?
I'll give you this. I thought it was within a foot because I couldn't remember.
Okay.
I'm saying all 3 election board members were out here earlier.
All 3 election were out here. You were absolutely correct. And they didn't say a word.
I'm not going to because I didn't know. I knew he did. I didn't realize what actual spot.
Okay.
And everybody was up here.
Okay.
You guys were sitting over there.
But here's the thing: when you're going down the road,
I don't say nothing to you guys. I don't say. You go up there.
You don't say anything.
I've never responded to you guys on Facebook at all. I haven't.
No.
Bring up one comment.
Believe me, people call me when you knock on their doors and talk about me.
It doesn't matter. I tell the truth about you.
It doesn't matter.
Man, I tell the truth.
I don't
live your life a lot different.
What do you think the truth is? That you don't know Indiana code? That's the truth? It's your job. I mean, you're a career politician.
I live the Bible.
Okay, the Bible says follow the rules.
Yeah. Do you even know what the
Right
Bible
here.
says?
Do you know that you were already convicted of a crime, and so you should absolutely know what Indiana code is?
What do you mean actually?
Oh, that's right. Did it get expunged?
Yeah, you're right.
It did get expunged. So you are
paid all that money.
You paid all that money.
Yeah, it was free.
It was
good
free?
Lawyer. Yeah.
A good lawyer.
That's already in statute in the first statute. You need to learn law.
Oh, I need to learn law.
You do. You don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Well, we'll see what it says.
I know what it says.
Really? You just said you didn't know what it is. Now you say you know what it is. Oh my God!
Are you
make up your mind.
Is that all you have?
No, you just said you know the law, and then a minute ago you said you know the law of expungement. So you have a law degree.
Oh, nobody had a good lawyer.
Oh, you had to get a lawyer. Yeah. Okay, that's fine with me. Thank you.
Good lawyer.
This last part right here is from where Russ Willis came out and measured the chute. So the chute's actually farther out where that dark spot on the pavement is. Okay, so let's share what we wanted to do next. So here we go. Here's some instant. So if you want to go look up and it doesn't matter, this is for the state. So this is one of the cool things that I've learned from Catherine in this experience, whether I win or lose, which I guess people haven't got that memo. I don't care if I win or lose. This hasn't been about winning or losing. It was about doing something to completion, even with all the hits I've taken in the past 3 months since I filed. They've tried to bump me off the ballot, and then it became about principle, okay? Because it became about principle. And that's how I got here. And after being sued and Hodson almost taking my half acre and none of the elected officials coming to save me, I had to figure out how to save me, because I learned Superman is not coming. And Wonder Woman is going to have to step up. Timothy Ray, I have the screenshot of you tagging John Dyer in a post. Okay. Well, you're still connected to John Dyer. And I'm going to move along with what we're here for, so you can hate on me all day long. I don't care, John Dyer, or whoever you are. I don't care. Pay attention to class. You might learn something productive instead of being a bully. So here we are. If you want to look at anybody's, and it has to be above Madison County, okay? It has to be above the Madison County level to be able to have this information. Because if you want somebody in a Madison County role, like if you want a county councilman's campaign financials, you have to go to that website that I was showing you. It would be from this one right here. So if you want a county, something to do with the county, you would go to this website and you would look for how to contact it's going to be Heather Bailey is who you're going to be looking for. So let's see here. Okay. Come to her, the Heather Bailey, and you can request, they have the form on here, or call her and she can email you directly the form you need. And you can ask for all kinds of stuff about candidates from her. Voter history is different. You have to go to Devin or Chris Lutz to get the voter history, but it's really simple. And then you email it. Make sure to email it. You can go in and do it, but it's better to have the paper trail from online and the emails. That's what I found to be the best method. And then you can track it. But if you want to go above county level to find somebody's finances, and I've learned so much from checking these finances out. So you got Gaskell over here. Okay. Now I forgot, because Kelly hasn't been in office for a while, I forgot that she had been in office during the time of the Hodson case. And so she's one of the ones I'm mad at about not protecting me during the pandemic and costing me $100,000 on top of the $100,000 that the needle exchange program cost me when it moved across the street from my old house. So anyway, back to this. You just type in the person's name right here. I just went ahead and put Gaskell in, search, it pops up both of them. Kelly Gaskell, there's some good information on hers. But for right now, we want to look at Mike Gaskell's. Because if you go over to Catherine's, let me pull this up. Catherine. Okay, no, I don't know if it's on her elect page or her personal page. So I think it's her personal page. She may have shared it on the elect page, but I want to go to this one instead. So make sure you can see it. Okay. She's got some good polling information here. Right in here. It tells you all the locations for the county. She took it off the website. So there is a JPEG. It's just if you're not connected to us, you won't see it. She's got a bunch of stuff in here. Oh, and it does look like she posted that on her Senate page. But the one I'm going to be looking for is SB 277. Because SB 277 sells us down the river. So that's one about electioneering. And this is Mikeal Vaughn in the chute. Okay. else does she have? This is Todd Cole, or not Todd Cole. This right here is Jonathan Culp right here, standing in the chute. I'm not sure who this is. And then you can clearly see Mikeal here in the chute. So, okay, well, just since I already talked about it, let's just point this one out. Under Indiana law, electioneering is strictly prohibited inside polling places and within the designated chute, which is defined in Indiana code as 3-5-2-10 as the area extended 50 feet from the entrance voters use to enter the polls. So remember that when you're going into the polls, to make sure that you're not going into that area with any type of campaign gear on for anybody. And it says Indiana Code 3-14-3-16 electioneering includes any display or expression supporting or opposing a candidate or a public question, such as signs, clothing, literature, or verbal advocacy. But you can stand just outside that 50-foot chute for us in campaign if you want. We would greatly appreciate that. If I can't find it in the next couple scrolls, I'm going to have to type it in. But SB 277 basically throws us down the river, you guys. It throws us, I mean, it's not good. Somebody else said it stops one thing, but when I read the language and it talks about being able to take people's property, that's eminent domain. Okay, what's this one? Something different. Ooh. Okay. Call your local senator. Will they sell out your land or will they vote for the people who do? That's a good one. Kill the bill. HB 1333. Okay, if you care about what can be built on the land next to your home, your largest asset, you need to pay attention. Right now, today, citizens have the ability to oppose it. And let's find out what happened. And I'm going to go ahead and share that. So, who was this one? Lawson. I think this is the House. Yep, Indiana House of Representatives. But this right here, you look at their vote history. Is Pierce on there? Roray's on here. She voted yay for it. And Roray doesn't show up to meetings. It's kind of sad. Okay, Kyle Pierce voted nay. So, yay. Go down. SPE. She just had this one up on her website. I'm going to have to move along if I can't find it. Okay. Nope. Here we go. I just had to put a space in it. So please educate yourself before you vote. Make sure your elected servant working for you and not for the corporation with the deepest pockets. This is what triggered me finding these financials. Okay. When I started reading that SB 277, now I don't know if you guys know this or not, or whoever's been paying attention to what we do with the water, but we have turned the contaminated water into the EPA an item on more occasions than I can even tell you in a podcast. I have a paper trail as long as my body. It's crazy. And so now to think that whatever this SB 277 that turned item into an empty shell, it got my gears going. Okay. And this happened, that this bill was passed. Does she have it in here? Can you read that? Let me see. I don't know. If you're on your phone, you probably can't read this stuff, but I'm going to try to bump this side over here won't go away. But on this one, who is Senator Mike Gaskell really working for? I mean, really, think about it. How often do you see Gaskell standing up for water, I've not seen him at one meeting standing up for our water in Anderson or Madison County. I've not seen him in Alexandria. I've not seen him in LaPel or Anderson meetings. And those are the three main ones, because we have advocates in those areas that have been not complaining. So I don't like that word, because at the end we get things done regardless if people like our methods or not. Things change. Like we just got the phosphorus load limit. We didn't have a phosphorus load limit until I talked to Ryan Pascal and the city council in February. And so they changed it. Now we have a daily load limit for phosphorus. So, you know, whatever. But Mike Gaskell wasn't at that one. He doesn't attend local meetings, and he thinks that, well, I don't know what he thinks. I'm not going to speculate. But when I follow the money trail, I learned in this last week that out of state organizations are donating to Mike Gaskell's campaign. That bothers me tremendously, because I feel like what I have seen from doing a deep dive on these donors is they have connections to, guess what? Data centers, CSO gas pipelines, or whatever they wanted to do up in Ellick, where Ellick, there was a law passed, and I don't know if, no, this one's not the law. The other one turned into Public Law 103, and it basically allowed them to take somebody's land and pull it into the city. And then they wanted to build something on it that nobody wanted. But that's another story for another day. Back to SB 277. This says it strips away item review on nuclear reactors and water pollution concerns. Now, I didn't read that one before. Oh, it's this one. Item review on nuclear reactors and water pollution concerns. So apparently nobody's thinking about our water. And what, this nuclear reactors? I don't even know where we have a nuclear reactor out. I'm not paying, I can't see any of the comments because I'm on different pages right now. So if you're telling me what it is, you'll have to directly message me. But this is crazy, you guys. Meanwhile, regular citizens are left wondering who is protecting their communities, farmland, water infrastructure, and property rights. I mean, just based on my story alone with property rights, I have the county and all my elected officials up to the state caused us great consumer injury. And you can't take that back, because the next step is I have to sue the county. But something happened. It was a miracle happened a couple weeks ago with the VA, and I was able to pay off a lot of the debt that had been created by the lawsuit between me and Kenneth Hodgson for my half acre. So I don't have to go sue the city or county. And then I decided to run for office. So that's kind of funny. If I win, I get to go in and look in all their coffers and bank accounts and find out where all of our money's going. And it seems like millions of dollars are being invested, but you don't see any like real tangible evidence that it's doing any good. So he doesn't even post on his social media. If you go try to look at Mike Gaskell's social media page, you're not going to find a lot of information. I think Catherine said the last time he had posted on his page was in 2022. Now, mind you, when we get into these finances here in a minute, he's gotten thousands of dollars donated to him, and he don't even post online about some of this stuff. That bothers me, that he's not posting at least updates. I think Ireland, I like following Andrew Ireland is the one, and he'll post stuff about what's going on in the House. But bottom line, pay attention to who's sending these mailers out. If the mailer doesn't have a disclaimer on it, no matter who it's about, that's a problem. That's against Indiana code to send out hit pieces and not put your name on it. And he doesn't have political talking points. There's no real answers. If anybody was paying attention to the Tea Party a few weeks ago, we didn't get a lot of answers out of that. This goes into, okay, And this is the other issue. Anderson water has PFAS in it. We learned that from Neil McKee in October of 2024. He said that the city of Anderson water had been testing high for PFAS. PFAS is a forever chemical, and it was made by DuPont, okay, in the 1960s. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you can email me, message me on Facebook, and I can send you all kinds of information on the PFAS. But anyway, as a Senate Committee on Environmental Affairs, okay, environmental affairs is my concern, because if we don't have clean water, we don't have a bright future. It's like, so all of us can fight about my case and about this or that, we can point fingers, but at the end of the day, if we don't start coming up with solutions, we're going to see our community start suffering. Okay. And it's going to start, or it's already started with the water. And if you can't afford to get a reverse osmosis machine, or you can't afford a fancy water filter at your house, that concerns the voters and taxpayers. Some people can afford it, and then they act like, oh, well, you just go get a filter and a machine and it'll take all that stuff out of the water. Well, no, that's not fair to the people that can't afford that. We're paying for clean water, and some people's water, just because it's clear, doesn't mean that it's safe to drink. Okay. And then we've had them say the yellow water that we take into these meetings, or the discolored water that we take into these meetings, we've had them say to us, they won't drink it. So why are they forcing us to bathe in it, or them? Because my water's currently okay, I think. But why would they force everybody to do stuff? So I'm going to leave this here for a minute, and I have a chihuahua problem in the background. She's not going to shut up until I go pick her up and get her out of her crate. So give me like 30 seconds, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to go into the financials. But for those just tuning in, this is about SB Senate Bill 277. It looks like effectively prohibit item from regulating thousands of PFAS or forever chemicals by narrowly defining the subject of PFAS related compound. Read it. I'll be back. If you got questions, send them to me. Sure. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, whatever we're dealing with the National Priority Superfund site is not, PFAS could be a part of it, but I believe that Randy Well 4 had TCE, and the 3 plumes, we just figured out where the 3 plumes are. We'll have to come back to that one, because I do not know where my pictures are right now. So let's go back to why all this matters. So you see SB 277, environmental stuff. Then I don't even see, there it is. Share this tab. Okay. So you see all these. Let me blow this up a little bit. Okay. This is the filing history. So beginning balance. Well, let's go back up so you can see it. This is the committee detail. Okay. Each candidate has to form a committee. Committee information. This gives you the file number. Tells you Mike Gaskell for Indiana. Candidate. Lives in Pendleton. Gives you his email. Now, this is a concern too. His daughter, Heather Prophet, and his son are running for office. Okay, Heather Gaskell Prophet and his son, Josh Gaskell, I think that's his name, are running for the same position. So it doesn't matter who you vote for in their race, because one of them's going to win. And I'm very concerned now about Heather Gaskell Prophet and Josh Gaskell, as a matter of fact, just because they can sit pretty in a pew and sit pretty and polite in the political arena when everybody's debating, doesn't mean that they're not a snaky snake as Mike Gaskell is currently. I'm not happy with them because they have the Madison County Reagan Club, which I've tried to pull the finances for that, and I haven't been able to find them. But his beginning balance was $34,000 plus total contributions. Ending balance is $51,116.83. Now that's from donors. Okay, so what happens if you don't spend this money on an election? Where does this money go? Because I see money being transferred from one account to another account to another account to other candidates to, I don't know. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't. So let's, for some reason I just lost that screen. Okay, here it goes. This is what I was showing the other day on Saturday. Okay. Mike Gaskell. What's it say? Indiana Political Committee. Cedar Falls, Iowa. What is really going on? Why is an Indiana Political Action Committee centrally located in Cedar Falls, Iowa? Help me make sense of this. Okay, why are people from out of state putting money into elections in Madison County, Indiana, or Indiana in general? Nobody pays somebody this much money if there's not some strings attached. I don't care what you say. Travelers Company Inc. Political Action Committee, One Tower Square, Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut. $1,000. And that was the date on it was 4/29/2026. Now I'm going somewhere with all this. I hope you guys are following along. And this is why I'm not going to answer some questions and just point out the irregular things that I'm seeing. I need a different word because I can't pronounce whatever I'm trying to pronounce, or in my head I'm not reading a script, so I'm going off script. This one's Columbus, Ohio. $1,000 on April 29th. So I'm going to close. Wait, no, I don't want to do that because then it'll close the whole thing down. So let's go back. Share this one instead. Let's go back to that large report. Come on. Committees. Do it all over. Okay. So 421. So this is what you have to fill out if you get a large donation from someone over $1,000. So I guess I'm not cool enough. That's the same one. I'm going to close that out now. Close this out. Okay. Come on. Show me the report. There it goes. Okay. All right. And I'm not trying to dox nobody. Anybody can find this information. Liberty Mutual Insurance Company Political Action Committee from Boston, Massachusetts, in a Madison County election. $1,000. Why is where's the signature? Electronic signature. Okay, let's get out of there. Oh, I lost my screen. Okay. Gaskell. Okay. This was the one that was just due. I don't know why it didn't pop up anything. Details. Okay, this is different. Okay, let me go over here. So this is something someone shared with us this week. This website is called Transparency USA. I don't know who built this. I don't know who's monitoring it, but it's a very interesting website to take a look at if you want to know about finances. Okay, I'll tell you one. 626,211 total contributions for a Indiana Senate race. And a lot of that money is coming from outside sources. Okay, not from the people of Madison County. And the people in Madison County aren't seeing Mike Gaskell at any of our meetings. When Alexandria was having the issue with that trailer park water, they asked Mike Gaskell to come out there and help them. He didn't come out and help them. Me, Catherine, and Lisa did. We went out. Well, I didn't get out there. I got to get volunteers to go out there and some donations. But Bingham Square, we asked him to come out for Bingham Square. He didn't come out for Bingham Square. David Ikes came back in, even though he's the one that turned the power off. He came back in and helped fix it. Mayor Broderick and David Ikes and them helped fix Tammy Dixon Tatum. I have to give her a shout out too. She helped with that one. But any of our county officials, I didn't see any county officials. Oh, Greg Graham was there. I don't want to leave anybody out. Ollie Dixon, Rebecca Crooms, city council members, they came in to help. Anderson Redevelopment Commission started, pulling their weight. They launched lawsuits against the owners, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, matter of fact, Mike Gaskell's not showing up to help any of us. And he's getting this much money in his elections. That bothers me. That's a lot of flipping money. You want to know how much I spent? I spent $1,200 on some signs, a website, and a couple little campaign mailers. That's it, right? This guy's spending, I know this race. Okay, so the race is 2018 when he first got in. Okay. Either way, look at that. Do you see that number? $172,613.80. And it comes down. Boom, 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 boom. He won his second election pretty hands down. 9,000 or 93,000 expenditures. 907. And then little chump change, right? 22,017. I haven't really seen anything though. But the website then goes on to break it down. So you get your top payees, you get your top contributors. Okay, Senate Majority Campaign Committee, 104,000. And this is total. So I don't know if it tells the date. No, some of them tell a date, some of them don't. The Todd Baldridge one shows some stuff. He's over here on this one. See this? $9,000. So me and Catherine get on here and expose things for free. Todd Baldridge gets on here and twists the narratives to fit whatever agenda that the Gaskells, Vaughn, or whoever his clients are want. And up to this point, they paid him $9,000. And he has been the one responsible for a lot of the hit piece mailers from these guys since 2014. No joke. And I'm surprised I didn't know about him until last week when he targeted me. But, you know, it is what it is. Indiana Republican State Committee, $72,750. Hoosier for Quality Education Political Action Committee. See, I didn't know about political action committees until like the last couple years. But even at that, what's their address? Doesn't say right there. I'll look at that one. I'm not trying to show you guys stuff. Mike Gaskell, 16,000. Indiana Realtors Political Action Committee. Indiana Merit Construction PAC of ABC. At some point, he switched over to the Lukens Company. Okay, the Lukens Company is marketing out of Virginia. So that's the other issue I have about buying all the campaign materials, and we're having to buy and purchase things from out of state. Now, my signs are fancy, and I feel bad because I could have gave that to somebody local, but every time I try to order stuff from local print shops, my orders get messed up. So I had to go with Vistaprint. But even at that, we didn't spend, I know Catherine didn't spend that $146,000. And that's not even his money. That's donated money from things like, there's a lobbyist on one of them, which I need to go back to that in a minute. Because there's a lobbyist that we just found on one of his financials. What's he doing with a lobbyist? Okay, I know what. Let's go back to this one. So this is the Indiana Diego Morales. This is the Indiana Secretary of State website. So we know this is about as close as facts as you can get. So let's look at the expenditures. Okay, of course. I thought Madison County Republican Women's Club wasn't supposed to share. Okay, my goodness, people. I want to keep everybody else in line, but I didn't even think they were allowed to. Oh, he spent something. Oh, I know what that was. Never mind. He purchased something. He purchased a table for $300. Strategies Company. Look, Fairfax, Virginia. Like, that's sad. Oh, you're not even on the screen. There you go. That's sad, you guys. Fairfax, Virginia. So what I was griping about was this one right here. I didn't think they were supposed to support candidates in the primary, but this is not. This is an expenditure. So $300 for a table. Oh, it looks like you bought 2 tables. Capitol Grill. Okay. Luger series. It's okay. That's not too shabby. Okay, that's not what I was looking for, though. What I was looking for is, let's see, CFAs like this. Okay. Let's share this one. That's what I was looking for. January 2026, April 2026. And okay, so I'm going to look at some of these just because I want to see what's going on in my comment section. Well, it depends, because me and my husband got to talking about this. Like, I'm mad. I'm mad about some of these out-of-state places donating, but my husband brought up a good point. Like, what if you have a family member that lives out of state and you want them to donate? I don't have problems with that. I don't have problems with a family member or a friend out of state that happens to, have connections to political action committees. I think that's, there should be ways for family members out of state to be able to help. My issue is when we go, there's a lobbyist on one of these, and I think I'm going to have to go to Catherine's because me trying to find it is going to be kind of hard. So let me see this. I'm going to go back over to Catherine's page. We're going to pick through her. She posted this in the last couple of weeks. How well do you know? This was the other issue that we had on Saturday, was that, you know, we go up in there to Markville, and I told everybody, come on up to Markville, come on up here, see this, and come in and vote. And then we get up there, and I'm driving around, and I kept seeing all these signs that say no toxic battery plants, no toxic battery storage. Okay, you see all these yellow signs for no battery storage. And then you see this one lonely Mike Gaskell sign, and a lot of people don't understand that Mike Gaskell sold us out last year when it comes to our land acquisition, what people can put on the properties. And these are facts, right? You can go to the state website to find the information that we're putting out. In fact, if you want to do the short script version, go to, thank you, Karen. Go to the go to Catherine's page, because that's where I get my information. And you know, and one day, no matter how this election works out, I'm getting trained on how to find things, because Catherine takes the time to answer my questions and give me, but not just my questions, she's putting everything out for everybody else too. So how well do we really know Senator Mike Gaskell? He says he opposes data centers and solar farms and battery companies, but does he really? Does he really? And so what we found on his campaign financials, okay, let me see. You can't really see these. Yeah, you can. Okay. This was filed last week, or on the 9th. What? I forget the date now. On the 10th. No, the 10th was the last day. I think they were due on the 9th, 17th or 19th. But that's not the one I wanted to look at. The one I wanted to look at was this one right here. Okay. Can you see that? See if I pull up. That guy, or this organization, Faugre, Drinker, Biddle, and Wreath, LLP, has clients, that data center clients. Okay. We're trying to stop data centers. We're trying to stop environmental, and you can't stop all environmental contamination. We're not trying to stop all of it, right? We're trying to get stuff fixed, okay? Get it within our control, within our means, so that we can save the future. But the other issue is not letting anybody come in and put things that are going to make an already stressed water infrastructure catapult it into a catastrophe. Okay, that's what we're trying to avoid. And when you look at the water infrastructure for Madison County, the whole county, okay, everybody's messed up right now. Everybody's messed up. Drainage is messed up. Sewage is messed up. Okay, let me show you something on that. I'm going to share this. How is my waterways? Here it is. This is why it's so important. My mom contracted an incurable disease from groundwater contamination a half mile from Wheeler Water Treatment Plant in Anderson. And it should be in the window of the National Priority Superfund site. Okay, we live close to CSO 25 and Pittsford's Ditch, which the plume that the Anderson Redevelopment Commission was talking about in March, and me and Six Puppies had some great conversations about it, because she is actually around, like, she has 3 Superfund sites and brownfields around her area, and Pittsford's Ditch is connected to them, and all that junk funk comes down Pittsford's Ditch and goes into the White River. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. and see. I didn't want to go into all this because I wanted to get some of my signs put up, but I'm going to go into a little detail to show you what we're talking about. So this is a map of all Indiana water. And it pretty much tells us that all water is contaminated. Okay. Now, Madison County is right here. And the water, this is Killbuck Creek coming into the MPL site. This is the White River. Yeah. I'm over here. Am I? No, I'm right here. This is me. Okay. I'm close to Mount State Park is over here. Another website I could pull up. I'm not going to do that right now, but let's pull up mine. Yes. They call it a watershed. I call it a river. What's a watershed? That sounds like drainage, like something that runs off. So now, after I was born in 1978, I'm in my feral 40s. Let's see what watershed means. I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll bounce back, just because I want to know what the actual definition is. I don't want to blow smoke up everybody's booties. So watershed is a land area including mountains, forests, towns, and farms that channels rainfall and snowmelt into specific lake, river, or ocean, acting as a drainage basin. Oh, Lord, help me. Somebody help me. It works by collecting water from higher elevations, filtering it through soil and vegetation, and directing it to a single shared outflow point. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, you guys. Yes, great work by Catherine showing me some stuff. And 6 puppies. Karen says hello. Okay, let's go back over here. So this is why it matters when you look at what kind of bills Senator Gaskell is signing off on. Our water's already contaminated, okay? We don't need, okay, can you see that? It says Madison County right here. We don't need that's, yeah, like watershed. I'm sitting here. No, this says Mound State Park Campground, Anderson, Indiana. Okay, yeah. That's why if you go to the boat ramp at Mounds, like there was a phosphorus all over the bank this year. I was so, that's how I knew that high levels of phosphorus were being put into the river. And that's how I found out that Chesterfield Wastewater Treatment Plant had put 930% above action level in our of E. coli into our water. And then my husband got sick and now they're down here fixing it. So I can't get mad. But I don't understand this, how they can say aquatic life is good, but fish and shellfish consumption is impaired. Okay. Swimming and boating is impaired. Now, I have kayaked the White River my entire life. And I have heard people warn about, you know, different things. But now that I'm in my feral 40s and I'm learning all this newfound information, I'm like, why isn't this readily given to us before we go playing outside around here? I mean, you would think that it's important. Okay, so here, identified issues, bacteria and other microbes, PCBs. So our fish already have PCBs in them. And this tells you over here gives you the definitions. I like that. This right here tells you the definitions of bacteria and pathogens. Okay. And then right here is our MPL site, and something is causing a algae bloom over here. I have YouTube videos showing, okay, ooh, I can show you. Okay, one plume is here, even though it's not on this map. I have it, I can show you later. Another contamination plume is right here, okay? And number 3 is over here by Dawson's Garage. This is the largest one, and that's right by Ranny 5. So Ranny 5 is right on this little trek of the White River. Killbuck Creek comes into it. Here's the Killbuck wetlands. Let's see if it'll let me. Yes. Okay, Killbuck. You can walk up on the Killbuck one. If anybody wants to go test my theories and throw some stuff in, we greatly appreciate it. Indianapolis, you can call back. Let's see, Killbuck Creek. Let's see what this says. Okay, here we go. Now, this right here, I shouldn't have to find my own stuff, okay? But I do. I have to find my own information. We have information that the EPA does not have. They've already deleted it off their website. But me and Bree Davis found some information. Oh, all right, guys. I think this is somebody calling me for the signs. So I might have to end soon. And you know what? Let me shoot. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go take care of the signs. I will come back on later to finish. All right. I will come back on later to show some more stuff. But for right now, the main concerns I'm having with the with Mike Gaskell is some of these contributions that he has. I think it's crazy that we have out-of-state people paying into our elections. And with that, I have to go work on signs for a little bit, but I will be back on here to explain some of the stuff with Mikeal Vaughn and Todd Baldridge here in a little bit. So I'm going to take us out with this one, and then I'll be back in like a couple hours. So you can either get off or you can watch this little clip and call it a day for now.
Might